Hi again, sorry for the noise, the half's in the kitchen. So playing Stone again. I said there was a language fault that I was trying to show, and this is it. So I'm currently connected, there's nothing happening, and the game's frozen on the language select screen. So now I've got to go and quit, but I've actually got other issues going on, so let's try and get to those. The original fault was that acts weren't loading in properly, so you would finish an act or part of an act, and then you wouldn't be able to load into the next one. It would just freeze. Convict Games came back to me and said, please go back to the previous act. So for me that meant replaying part 2 of Act 1. And finally, after 2 weeks of trying, Part 1, Act 1, Part 3, where you're in a nightclub. It finally loaded. Right, there's the language fault again. Why does everything happen when you don't want it to? I've been trying to do that on 2 or 3 videos and it hasn't worked. Anyway, the nightclub scene in Act 1, it didn't load. Last night it finally did load. And then I got as far as Act 1, Part 6, and I couldn't move again. I've tried reloading those chapters 4 times now. I've tried going back to previous chapters, and I still can't move in any of those, so I can't replay the game back to the point that I was, like I did with the nightclub scene in Act 1, Part 3. Right, so we're finally on the select screen now. Let's go story. Let's just go continue. So to be clear, this should be a different fault. You can see I've got a little bit further in the game. And I can't move now. So, controller is connected. I have other controllers, but they are not switched on. Here's the other controller, it is not switched on. So, once again, I am stuck. Now, in previous comments, I've been told to go back to a previous chapter. Let's quickly try that. So, load again. Nice cup of tea. Get signed in. So on that attempt, I tried continuing from where I currently was. Let's try chapter picking, so that we can try and do what worked from the advice of Convict Games. Let's go back to chapter Act 1, Part 5, because I'm trying to replay the game to get a little bit further on. I hope this is making sense as I describe it, because it's got a lot of acts and parts, this game.
Bloody hell are you, mate? I miss you.
It's a progression fault. I can't get further. So he's finished talking. I should be able to move around now.
Oh, Les, yeah, g'day. I just got kidnapped. What? Was Alex there?
And I should be able to select things, but I can't press any of the buttons. And I can't move, so once again, we're a bit broke. Please help me, Convict Games.